So, welcome to the School of Professional Design audio experience. And we are in a series where you get to take a look at your archetype. Who are you professionally in terms of your personality? And it is so important to know this because if you don't know this, I promise you, you're going to pretend. And here's the truth: pretending reduces your opportunity for success. How do I know this? Think about how much effort it takes if you were to cover up a lie. That's what pretending is. You're acting like someone else. And so my hope is that through the test, which you should have taken, if you haven't taken the personality test and you're just somehow ended up here, go to schoolofprofessionaldesign.com and find the peak personality archetype test at the bottom of the homepage. You should find it there. But the goal is to help you to play as yourself and to win as yourself. That is what is sustainable, and that is what brings immeasurable joy on top of success. And that's what we're doing, right? That's what a professional should do. In this particular episode, we're going to be talking about unifiers, connectors, and this one is going to be about the lover. A real quick synopsis of who the unifiers are. It's lovers, everyman, and companion. These are your people. They're the ones that you want solving people problems. We have the lover who is finding people and connecting with people and creating that bond. We have the everyman who's relating to people and strengthening and making people feel included. And then we have the companion who's caring for others and shepherding others and healing others. And these are the people that make something heavy not feel so heavy. So we absolutely need these unifiers, these connectors in our environment. The other types of people that we have: the visionaries who think stuff up. We have the strategists who go out there and they put a structure to how this should look. Then we have these right here, these people, these connector unifiers. And then finally, the pioneers, the ones who are throwing spears and taking on the elements of the wild. We'll talk about those in another one. But in this one, we're going to get into the lover. Okay. The lover, I guess before I get into it, let me share with you the story or the legend. I don't know if it's real or not. We certainly know this person did exist, but the story of Lady Godiva. She was kind. She was known for her benevolence and her love for others, her empathy and her courage. Lady Godiva was married to the Earl of Coventry, a guy by the name of Leofric, and he imposed a very oppressive tax over the people. Lady Godiva, sparked by her empathy and her love for the people, confronted her husband, Leofric, and she said, "Listen, you've got to repeal this. You've got to take this back." And he said no. And she approached him again and again. And he must have been drunk on the final attempt, because he said, "Fine, I will repeal it, so long as you ride through the town, bare as your birth. Do this, and I will remove the tax." Without hesitation, Lady Godiva accepts. And in the inverse, or the other side of love, she didn't only offer love, but she asked for love as well. She asked for the town to all go inside, remain inside, and not peek. And finally, the moment arrived, and sure enough, the townsfolk had retreated to indoors, and Lady Godiva emerged from the castle to a silent street. The only sound that could be heard was the clip-clop of the horse's hooves, and the only thing that covered her was her hair. This was a ride for justice. This was a ride for her people. This was courage ignited by love. The streets were silent, and as she returned, having completed her feat, her husband indeed repealed the tax. Side note on the story, There was one person who peaked. He ended up getting struck dead for doing it. And he was the first peeping Tom. He was Tom the tailor. So a little historical fun there. But the story of Lady Godiva really shows what the lover archetype is about. The lover is characterized by their passion, by their nurturing nature, by their commitment to building deep and meaningful connections, by their pursuit of others. They value relationships. They value emotional bonds. They are often striving to create connection and harmony, and they're fostering love and appreciation in their environments. They're not afraid to be expressive in the words that they use. Every business needs the lover because the lovers bring passion, they bring creativity, they bring emotional intelligence to the workplace. They understand intuitively where other people are, and they calibrate immediately with their message. So they get buy-in. I believe that the lovers speak the language of allure. They make really good marketing people, sometimes good salespeople, definitely good HR people, because they're seeing never just one side of a story. They see all the sides of the people who are involved. They're loyal. They are great. Again, anywhere emotional appeal is crucial and critical, you definitely want a lover on your team. And they make you feel good too, for sure. These are, again, of the class of people, the unifiers, connectors, that are all people. And there's three. There's the Everyman, but the Everyman focuses on relatability, and really the lover is more about the emotional connection and sometimes passion, sometimes the things that don't make sense. Lady Godiva did not approach her story by trying to argue the law, or there's so many different approaches she could have taken. She took courage out of love for people. The caregiver is another type of connector or unifier, but the caregiver is focused primarily on protection and on healing and responsibility. The lover sometimes might not seem that responsible. Their focus is on intimacy and connection. They're all similar, again, because they're people. They bring collaboration, they bring unity, they bring connection, but they're different. The tendency of a lover is to be passionate and nurturing sometimes, but definitely passionate. They are pursuers. They see someone or something and they try to get engagement. They're very good at messaging and at being thoughtful. There's a thing that I call business romantic. It's real easy for lovers to pick up when they can send notes to others of appreciation. So it has nothing to do with actual romance, but it just has to do with creating connection. They're so good at this. They tend to create deep relationships. Some of them actually can be quick, buzzing from one to another, but tend to create deep relationships. They really strive where there is emotional connection. No big surprise. A lover's gardener who tenderly cares for each plant, ensuring that they receive water and sun and attention. That's what they are, but they're like that to people, right? Examples in history, Princess Diana, known for her compassion, her empathy. She was the people's princess, the queen of people's hearts. In literature, we have definitely Juliet, probably Romeo too, from Romeo and Juliet, where they're willing to put it all on the line for what they're committed to, for the people they committed to. In business, I really like the idea of Godiva and Lady Godiva being, like, she is the top of the actual representation of Godiva chocolate. Other brands that really attempt to utilize the lover archetype. You can have an archetype in your brand as well, but Chanel, where they emphasize luxury and beauty and deep connection. Hallmark, Starbucks, and again, of course, Lady Godiva chocolate. The alternate personalities. Like if some of this is sounding familiar, maybe it's you or someone. There are sometimes masks that we wear. I call them personas. Actually, that's what they called them in the past as well. You might be masquerading as a caregiver, where you seem like you're nurturing others, but that's not really your main drive. You've been doing it, but that's not really what gives you energy. Maybe you've been masquerading as an everyman because you are focusing on practical and relatable tasks so you can fit in and create harmony that way. Or the sage, like you love people so much that you go out there and you find out all the things you need to know so you can help these people you love. But all of these are masks. These are all other ways that we might adapt and adopt. Sometimes I would say the hero, like that passion burns bright and it pushes us into massive courage. And maybe you've been acting like a hero. The way that you know that you've been acting like your persona is it takes energy. It doesn't give it. And a lot of times it's not the you that you love the best. It's not the you that other people fall in love with either. The lover's motivated by desire to build deep and meaningful relationships. And sometimes they're just motivated by desire to be desired. And it's not a love in the way that you think of finding a mate way. In business, they want to be wanted. In business, they want others to be wanted. They really deploy that power of desire. So it's not just a sexual type of energy. Desire is it's what you want, and they're able to key into that. That is a lover's language. They're motivated by fostering love and appreciation, by making others feel good. That's the lover. What are they afraid of? They're afraid of rejection. Oh my gosh, they are afraid of rejection. They're afraid of unreciprocated love. If they step out and say, I want to work with you, but the other person doesn't reciprocate, that's heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. They're afraid of conflict. Really afraid. That is not something that they run into. And they're afraid, whether it's themselves or other people, of emotional detachment. If they're doing a job that they don't feel like is caring for others, and they get detached, you are going to find a person operating at a very low capacity. So again, empathy, emotional intelligence, the ability to create harmony and nurturing environments, the ability to pursue and find new relationships while dedicating to the ones that they have. If your company does not, if you don't do a good job at support, these people are going to have a rough time. It's just going to be rough. Blind spots of the lover. They're like some of the others that are here. They're idealistic. They're idealistic. They may struggle with boundaries. They may be all in on helping people. As a matter of fact, they say that there are a few motivations for a professional. Some people are motivated by money. Some are motivated by a cause. Some are motivated by the way you do it. Definitely for a lover, they're motivated by others. This whole thing is like how can I find connection in this? They may avoid conflict, of course. It is such a blind spot. And a quick adjustment for that is find a way to say it in love. Meaning you might be saying mean things, but use like the loving tone. And it's amazing what you can say out there, lover. And people will listen. You might be walking around with lots of unresolved issues. Sometimes there's willful ignorance where you see things that are hazards and signs of impending doom and you ignore it, choosing only to see the bright side of people. You might, I would say this, you're a candidate for burnout, for taking on too much emotional labor, taking on tasks for other people, doing the things, overcommitting. If you're in sales and you commit to 10 things that your team can't do because you want to get someone's approval, that's going to stack up. It's going to come back and get you. The most native business functions for you is customer relations, Support. I think you can be good in sales so long as you have an extroverted component to you. So long as your company has good support, you can be. I think sales is good. I mean, anything involving people where you are finding new relationships or cultivating current relationships, really good for you. Human resources. What a great place for lovers. Okay. Marketing and branding. Lovers know how to entice people with language. They know about desire. They can speak to emotion. So marketing and branding is an amazing place. So I'm not talking about skill set. I'm just talking about just like the way that the heart is innately geared. Okay. Some things you might want to do differently, like in terms of your time, lovers have deadlines. Okay. You want to do your priority tasks daily. Put them up front. Okay. I know that you're going to get weighed down on your people stuff at some point. Someone's going to call and they're going to interrupt your schedule and you're going to let them because that's what you do. So I would say get your kick butt tasks done early. You might want to actually utilize the hero's schedule, which is win by 10. Try to get as much of your task list marked off by 10 o'clock. Schedule time for self-care. Do not give people access to all of your time. I repeat, do not give access to all of your time. Lovers are really bad about committing and overcommitting. And if you know that you have 2 hours where you're doing nothing in the day and someone asks you if you can do this today, a lover likely is going to say, yeah, I guess I have 2 hours I didn't know what to do with. And they're very giving if they think they can get approval that way. They really want approval. And so just be aware of that and have good boundaries. I would say scheduling time where you are checking in with, if you're a leader, check in with your team. If you are a salesperson, check in with all the people you've sold. If you're a business owner, check in with all of your important parts because that's what makes you feel good. Other people feel good when they're touched by you. And so just do that, right? Build it into your schedule. Relationships, I think the main thing is be willing to, I would say get coaching. You probably, if you haven't had coaching on it, you need coaching around conflict. Find a way to say create caring relational conversations that are conflict, and you, oh my gosh, you're an unstoppable force. I would say set boundaries. How many times can I say it? Set boundaries. Productivity, I would say use collaborative tools. You're best if you work with a group. You might need some alone time. You definitely do to recharge, but it's have a group. Have ways. You might use Slack. You might use some of these social media connections. Like have stuff to where you're actually connecting to the people that matter, so you don't find yourself falling into the trap of connecting with people that I don't want to say don't. We want to keep you out of the death scroll on Facebook and Instagram. Okay. Maintain a balance between work and personal relationships. You're probably the person where your clients are your friends and your friends are your clients, and that's great. But you don't want to create a scenario where you're giving access, just all access to yourself to anyone. Okay. For you, if you are, again, I think if you're in sales, you just want, there might be a language for it, but it's just something, whatever you're doing, you need to make sure that what you're doing feels like care. It feels like love. As a matter of fact, sometimes if you're afraid of that rejection, frame your rejection by telling yourself it's an act of love. You're willing to be courageous to go help people. You're willing to be courageous to find the ones who need you. You're willing to do the courageous thing because the people are that important to you. Where other people might have money goals posted in their area, I would recommend that you have a people goal posted. Like, how many people did I help today or this week or this month or this year? How many people are you serving? And sometimes I've seen people who are lovers actually put a poster of images, like actually take pictures of the people they've helped, so that when they feel low, when things aren't going good, they're reminded of all the people that they are a force for good for. For you to have a sense of purpose in work, you want impact through relationships. You want connections. You need to find new ones, and you need, without sacrificing the old ones. And so that takes a lot. You're not responsible for everything. Just give yourself time for maintenance on that. I think you need to feel included. You might be the one that actually creates the nurturing and empathetic culture in your company. But I know that that's important. If you're working and your office looks like the Wolf of Wall Street, if you can't change the culture, go find another one. Save yourself some trouble. Be open to feedback. Okay? Be open to feedback. Balance emotional engagement with practical considerations and learn how to communicate clearly and openly. Sometimes your emotional stuff just comes out as gobbledygook. I'm just being honest with you. That's what other people might be thinking. Okay? For you to maintain momentum and growth, I would say you need to have initiatives that you're leading that are focused on community, on building engagement, on finding new relationships, on maintaining old. You notice a trend yet? Developing programs that enhance employee and customer relationships. Okay? Relationships, community, care, love. And I would say actually, maybe it's just attraction. Maybe you're the love letter writer. Maybe you're the branding, marketing person. Some things I would outsource to others real quick. Conflict resolution. If you can't do it, give it to someone else. It can't go undone. Analytical data. It's not your strong suit. People are. You read people. And I'm not excusing you from numbers, but I'm telling you, if you can give the spreadsheets to someone else, you want to do it. High stress decision-making roles, you shut down when the stakes are high. When you feel like you might let someone down, you shut down. And so get someone else to connect and be empowered towards doing that. I just want to end this by saying you're really a unique person. You bring out the best in others because you see the best in others. You create an environment that is like literally the rest of us. We wouldn't think of the events. We wouldn't think of the kind words, the good words. We wouldn't see the goodness of what's around us if it wasn't for you. And so we need you to be you. Don't hide that. Don't feel bad because I'm a people pleaser. Hey man, you care about what people think because you are a lover. So go be the best one you can be. My hope is to encourage you to look, to think. You be you, my friend. Take that gift, shine it up, bring it to the world because we need your magic. Before you go, I have a question for you. Are you tired of feeling like you're just not effective, like you know there's something more in you? Listen, you're not weird. You're just alone. And we all need someone to simplify things. That's exactly what I do for free in the Powerful Peak Performance Masterclass. And I'm inviting you right now to go to schoolofprofessionaldesign.com/now, and I'll show you how to generate peak performance from your unique identity, how to create unstoppable vision, and take bold action. Start bringing 100% of yourself into your life and make your life your master work. I'll see you there. It's free. schoolofprofessionaldesign.com/now.